In today's episode, Shannon asks, do you have any tips for how to demonstrate your value to your coworkers? Yes. Value is defined by what you do that helps others, right? That is value. What do you do that helps others? Depending on who those others are dictates what value you provide and what you report on. So, for example, if your others are customers, meaning people who actually pay money to your company, and you're in marketing, then it's metrics like increasing the lifetime value of the customer. If you're in charge of audience building or growing an audience, then your key metrics are going to be things like demonstrating the size and the loyalty of the audience you've grown. So the big question is, what numbers, what metrics are you held accountable for? What is your personal KPI? Key performance indicator. The definition I like to use is what number, if it goes the wrong way, you get fired, right? And if it goes the right way, you get a bonus. If there isn't a number, then you have a serious problem in terms of communication with your manager, and you need to immediately have a sit down and say, okay, so what numbers am I being held accountable for? If the manager doesn't know, you probably should just update your LinkedIn profile, right? Because that is a company that is in serious trouble. So what is the number that if it goes the wrong way, you get fired for? That's your starting point for understanding how you prove value, how you demonstrate value to the company and to your coworkers. Now, in larger corporations, your customer may not be a human being buying from the company that you work at. Your real customer, or at least the one that dictates your economic well-being, is likely your boss, right? Maybe a coworker. And so the question then has to be turned around to, what do they value? What are they held accountable? What are their KPIs? What are the numbers that they will get fired for? And how do you contribute to those numbers? When I used to work at AT&T a long, long time ago, my job was to produce PowerPoint slides. Well, actually, no, to produce a PowerPoint slide. I had a summer job as an intern, and my job was to take 700 pages of printed paper, cull through them, add up data from a certain field in each page, then distill that number down and have it distill it essentially into 2 bullet points on one PowerPoint slide. And AT&T paid, I think minimum wage at the time was like $5 an hour. It was not a lot, but they paid somebody almost 8 hours a day just to produce those 2 numbers. And if that slide was late by even 15 minutes, there was hell to pay, because then my boss couldn't give their boss, who couldn't give their boss, that slide, right? That was the whole job. And so but it was really stupid for them to print out 700 pages a day, paper, and send that to the summer intern to digest down. So I wrote a piece of code in Microsoft Visual Basic that did. I said, just email me the spreadsheet. This was new at the time, and the person I was working with said, I don't know what email is. AT&T had it, so I walked to their area at lunchtime and showed them how to email me the thing. It's like, oh, that's so much easier. I don't have to wait for it to print out. I'm like, yep, you can get your job done faster. And so they would email me the spreadsheet every morning and use Visual Basic to pull all the numbers that I was having to copy out by hand from the paper version and add it up. And so instead of 8 hours a day, I was able to turn that job into about a 5-minute-a-day job. And because I was a summer intern, I just kind of wandered the building for the rest of the summer. Whether or not my replacement did that or they went back to the old way, I don't know. But the value I provided was to my boss, to their boss, in that instead of at 3 p.m. each day, biting the nails, waiting for that number to come in, they had it by 7:15 in the morning. They're like, this is great. Odd that they didn't ask them to do anything else, but it was great. So that's proving value by helping somebody else achieve their value faster, right? Proving value is about data analysis and insights. So What data do you work with on a regular basis? How do you show that your work is reflected in that data? If you're on the creative side, how do you show that your creative resonates better with your audience than somebody else's, right? So you could pull, for example, all the social media data for the account that you're on if you work in social media, or the email data if you work in email, or the SEO data if you work in SEO. How do you show that your work is even marginally higher quality than the work that other people are doing? Prove that number. Prove that number, whether it's inbound links, whether it's open rates on your email, whatever number it is that you work with. Maybe it's even just volume, the number of pieces of stuff that you've put out. Maybe just crank out more of it. It's productivity. And then what changes did you make to your own work routine that move that number in a positive direction? And is it teachable? Is it something that you can then show your coworkers and say, hey, I found an easier way of doing this. Let's do it this way if you want to. If you want to. But look how much time I'm saving. Look how much more time I've got in the day. Look how much less stress I have because I did this thing and made it faster. None of this requires any fancy tools beyond a spreadsheet and the ability to show like change over time with a line graph, right? It's easy stuff to demonstrate. You just have to do the hard work of A, doing better work than your coworkers, and B, understanding who your customer is, what they value, and how you contribute to that value. It's really important to do that, whatever that looks like. You know, in social media, if your job is to get more likes on Twitter for your content, as much as we might disagree that that's an important goal, if that's the goal that you're being held accountable for, then in your part of the world, that is the most important number. What are you doing to bolster that number, to make it go in the direction that your company wants it to go? So demonstrating value is all about getting the data, analyzing to show what happened, and if it went in the right direction, building insights, explaining here's why it happened, or here's the best theory as to why it went that way, and here are my recommendations for how to make it go in the correct direction, or go in the correct direction faster. At the end of the day, every company, every boss, every manager, every coworker wants things to be faster, they want it to be better, and they want it to be easier, right? Or cheaper. But mostly easier. Everybody wants things to be a little bit easier each day. So what are the ways that you have made the lives of the people who matter a little bit easier? Figure that out, and that is how you demonstrate value to your organization. Good question. Tough question. Tough question. As always, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and the newsletter. Oh, we have a new YouTube video, so promo, so it'll run after this. And of course, any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Want help solving your company's data, analytics, and digital marketing problems? Visit trustinsights.ai today and let us know how we can help you.